Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Now, I know you guys probably think I'm absolutely insane for putting my brand new 2023 C8 Corvette on Turo for anybody to come and rent. And the truth is, you guys probably right. But just know that going into me buying this brand new car, that was the plan all along, was to put the new Corvette onto Turo. It's kind of how I made it make sense financially, because I already have the Jeep, I already have the Tundra. Adding another brand new car, a very expensive car, to my fleet just didn't really make sense financially, unless I can make it make sense financially by justifying that by putting it onto Turo. But the bigger goal here is to have a fleet of vehicles in the future, starting with the Corvette, then the Jeep, and then hopefully, if it goes well, which so far it hasn't gone well at all. She brought it back over the mileage, damaged, absolutely filthy inside and out, brought it back late. It wasn't good. So if that keeps happening in the future and we don't have good experiences, then I'll pull both cars off Turo and not buy more of them. You guys probably think I could have bought something like a Kia or, a nice Honda to put on Turo, but I mean, you got to risk it for the biscuit, man. You can't play it safe in life sometimes. You gotta go big. I feel like if we're gonna do this, we gotta do it big, gotta do it right, make it worth it, because who wants to pay more than probably 30, 40 bucks a day for a Honda? I already cleaned the car, but I'll show you guys the damages that were left behind, and yeah, wasn't the best experience, but hopefully it goes better in the future. It's a little snug in here with the Tundra, but we're good, we're good. So, I've officially put my 2023 C8 Corvette onto Turo. I planned to initially put the Wrangler on Turo initially, but ended up putting this car in there first, and I've had my first renter as of about, what, a week ago or so. It wasn't great, and I'll show you why it wasn't great. First of all, come here and come low. She got it pretty good. As you guys can see, it's kind of shredded up right there, and over here it's a little bit worse. Yeah, and I haven't bottomed this thing out once yet, and well, that was the very first thing I noticed when she took the car and brought it back, was that she got the front splitter. And I specifically told her to be careful, the front end's pretty low, and she was like, oh yeah, no, it's all good, I'm a very good driver. Anyways, before we go inside the car, check this out right here. So obviously somebody leaned against this part of the car right there on the edge and rubbed some of the clear coat and some of the paint off. So there's that. The night before giving her the car, I washed the entire car, I vacuumed the interior, the wheels, everything was spotless on this car. She brought it back 24 and a half hours later. That was another part too, she brought it back late. She rented the car out 8 a.m. And then brought it back the following day, 8:30 a.m. over the mileage, brought it back late and absolutely filthy, with damage to the front splitter, a little damage right there, and the interior was an absolute wreck. She left a vape pen in the front passenger seat floor, and another vape pen in the trunk as well. So there was that part too, but the part that gets me the most is right here on the driver's side. So I put a little clear bra there right now, but I'm gonna take this part off really quick and show you guys the damage that she caused to the plate right here, which is pretty bothersome. I messed this all up anyways, I'm gonna redo it, but I'm gonna peel this off and show you guys what's going on right here. Check this out. Dude, what? That's gnarly. Like, those are all deep scratches right there. And that was in perfect condition before giving her the car. Like, that right there bugged me so much. I threw some clear bra on this, came out pretty bad. I'm gonna redo it. It was super quick, but yeah, if this was clear bra before giving her the car, that probably most definitely would not have happened. So yeah, she messed all this up right here. And just in general, I mean, the car's been clean since, but she left just stuff all inside the car. Only thing my renter did right was bring the car back with a full tank of gas. It's one thing she did, even though she probably put in 81 octane from 7-Eleven. She brought it back with a full tank of gas. You gotta kind of expect that, I guess, when you rent out your car in Turo. They're gonna treat it like a rental car. I mean, I'm sure not everyone would. I definitely wouldn't. If I'm renting someone's personal car, I know it's like their personal car. As far as insurance goes, I have the 75-25 plan, which means I give 25% to Turo and they give me 75% in exchange for a $250 deductible. If you want a zero deductible, you give them 40% and you get 60%, and you can modify it a few different ways to get it to where you get more of the earnings, but you pay a much more deductible. I think that's a good middle ground, getting 75 and giving 25 in exchange for a low deductible. Now, if I were to file a damage claim for the front splitter, I don't think it'd even be worth it if I were to. I mean, I'm not going to, I wouldn't anyways, because it's gonna get damaged again and again and again. And it's a very cheap splitter. You know, they're a couple $100 for a new splitter. It's plastic, so it's not that big of a deal. But if there was something more substantial and I was to file a claim, then I pay the first $250 towards the damages, and then Turo will cover the remainder of the damages. I should have showed you guys how terrible the interior was on this thing. There was stuff all over the floors. It was horrible, like for how brief she had the car. So anyways, it's all good though. Comes in the territory, I guess, of renting out cars. Hopefully the next person's a little more respectful of the car. But if it becomes more of an ongoing thing where it's like, you know, there keeps like all these little wear and tear things keep happening, I probably wouldn't do Turo anymore, to be honest, because this car is way too expensive to deal with all that. So car is so much fun. So the good thing about the damages is, for the most part, it's pretty superficial, right? So aside from the front splitter, which isn't bad, and I feel like it's gonna happen again and again, which is why I didn't even care to file a damage claim, because it's gonna happen again. And it's a very cheap part, so I'm not too worried about it. But yes, if you guys, you know, want to rent your cars out in Turo, something to consider is the fact that there's going to be a lot of wear and tear on it that's not covered under the damages policy. Under 3 inches, anything under that, scratches, you know, dings and stuff like that, isn't covered under Turo's damage policy. So if you guys have a car, that's your baby, I would not put it on Turo. My car is not my baby. I don't have the mentality of the Corvette being my baby. None of my cars are my baby. I feel like cars are meant to be driven and putting through things. You know, I don't think they should be, you know, super babied. I feel like it would drive you nuts, you know, having a car that's, you know, super like that, but that's just me. I feel like I've been that way before, and it's hard to keep that up because your car goes outside, you drive it, you know, you want to off-road it ever. If it's a truck, then it's kind of tough to keep it your baby, but that's just me. But if you guys have a car, that's your baby, I would not put it on Turo, because even though, you know, the renter is liable for all the damages, Turo is pretty generous about what's considered, you know, wear and tear. Things under a certain size are just wear and tear, but they can still be, to you, damage. Like, there are some things on the Corvette, like that, you know, little graze on the back left hip, the scratches there on the door jamb. The front splitter probably would be damaged because that's more than 3 inches of damage underneath the splitter, which I could have filed a claim over. I'm pretty sure it would go through, but then I'm paying $250 for the deductible because I have the 75-25 plan. But I mean, what's that cost? Like a couple $100. So I think it's, you know, $400 maybe for the front splitter. So they would give me, you know, maybe, you know, a little bit of money on top of what I pay out of pocket. It's like not worth it for it to happen again in the future. So I'm gonna leave it on there. And if there's anything worth claiming over, like scratching my wheel or something like that, then it's worth it for sure. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind for sure when you are renting your car on Turo, is the wear and tear will always be something you have to kind of just eat. And yeah, if your car is your baby, I wouldn't put it on Turo. The crazy thing to me, man, I feel like I made it pretty clear to her that this is my personal vehicle. I pulled it out of the garage and everything, and she even made a comment saying this is a very beautiful car. It's in great condition, and you know, it's beautiful. And I told her, I was like, yeah, it's, you know, I just bought it, I love it, and you're the first renter. For her to bring it back in the condition she brought it in, filthy, you know, damaged, so you can tell her friends put fingers and handprints all over it, taking photos. She even told me when she dropped the car off that she, you know, did a bunch of photos with the car and took it to an event and yada yada. Her friends and her all treated that thing like a rental car, pretty much, and everyone's going to. When you rent out your car, for the most part, I personally would treat a car really nicely if I knew it was someone's personal vehicle. But a lot of people will have the mentality of it being, you know, a rental car. It's not theirs, and they're not going to treat it like it is theirs. Anyways, we'll see how it goes in the future. Hopefully we can, you know, make something pretty cool out of this and have some pretty cool cars in the future. Maybe get a whole warehouse to keep the cars in. We'll see how it goes. It's just, wow. Words are good sometimes. It's just the beginning. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys on the next one very soon. Till then, peace out.